Hi there, welcome back to That Board Game Show. My name is James Wood, and today I am continuing my playthrough of the Solitaire Minigolf variant for Rolling Realms. Today I'm playing hole 15, Foreshadow. It has a power of 2, the realms are Charterstone, Pendulum and the Society, and the rules changes are a bit interesting on this one. On turn 1, we're going to roll the dice and write the result on the scorecard as usual. Then roll the dice again and set them aside, so we'll know what we're getting on the next turn. Then in turns 2 through 8, take the dice you had set aside on the previous turn, write the numbers in and roll again. On turn 9, once again, take the dice you had set aside and write the rolled numbers on the scorecard as if you had just rolled them. But since this is the last turn, don't roll the dice again. So this is quite an interesting one in that we're going to know ahead of time, one turn ahead basically, what the dice roll is going to be for the next turn. So that's quite a unique twist to the game. Otherwise, I think we're playing with pretty standard rules. And our goal is to score at least 13 stars, or 14 stars if you're playing on hard mode. So if you're playing along at home and you're playing on hard mode, that's what you're shooting for. If you're not familiar with Rolling Realms and you're not familiar with these realms that I have in front of me today, I would recommend you go back into episode 1 of this series where I explain how Rolling Realms is played, and I play through hole 1, explaining all the basic rules. Today I'm focusing just on hole 15 and the specifics of how we're going to play this one. And I mentioned in the previous video, when I played hole 14, that I would let you know how I did. Well, I didn't do too well, as you shall see shortly. Here is my course log from my previous attempts, and between hole 14 and now, I have continued to play hole 14, and you'll see that I've marked off all 4 spaces, and I wrote 5 in the end here. So that's a bit different to over here on hole 4, where it took me 4 attempts to complete it. So there I completed the objective. I managed to meet the goal on my 4th attempt, so that I was able to write 4 in the end box there. How this Solitaire Minigolf just keeps you moving forward is I failed on my 4th attempt for hole 14. So hole 14 completely defeated me. I eventually just had to move on to hole 15 today. And as a result of failing your 4th attempt, instead of just continuing to play and play and play and play, you simply mark it as 5 and move on to the next hole. So that's what I'm doing today. I am moving on to hole 15, Foreshadow, and let's hope I can do a little bit better. I think this one might be a little bit easier. For some reason, hole 14 just twisted my brain into a pretzel and I could not figure out how to do it. You can go back and watch that episode to see what it did to me. But anyway, today's focus is hole 15, so let's roll the dice and get started. Remember, you can play along at home if you have your own copy. And I am rolling, rolling, rolling. We've got a 2 and a 3. So we're going to mark 2 and 3. And now we're going to roll the dice again. And these are the dice we will have, a 1 and a 3, for next turn. So we can plan ahead a bit. We can plan our turns 1 turn ahead every step of the way. That's quite an interesting twist. Okay, so let's go over quickly the 3 realms we have in front of us today. I have encountered all 3 of these in previous episodes, so I gave the full explanation of how they worked then. I'm just going to do a quick summary now. So in Charterstone, when you mark off a number at the top, you gain the resource depicted below it, and you write the number of the other die in the crate below. And then on a future turn, you can use a die of the number in the crate to cross out the crate and gain a star. If you have multiple crates with the same number, you can use a single die to open all of them. In Pendulum, you can use a die to either mark off one of these spaces, crossing out an hourglass, or you can circle one of these spaces at the top. And when you finish an hourglass, so if you cross out this 6 and you've got a star circled up here, you will gain a star. or you will gain the resources. You'll gain everything that is circled at the top when you complete the hourglasses at the bottom. And in the society, we need to fill our numbers. Each card number must be lower than the number directly above. So we're filling this in descending order. We need big numbers at the top and small numbers at the bottom. And each time we finish a little triangle like that, we get the star in the middle. So let's cross out that mess over there and dive in with turn 1. I hope that makes sense. Again, you'll see how these all work as we play through this hole. So 2 and a 3, 2 and a 3. I'm going to use... Well, knowing that I've got a 1 and a 3 coming up on the next turn, I think I'm going to start trying to fill in this hourglass here, because that's a bit of a tricky one. So I will use the 2 over there in the middle. So that doesn't score me anything yet, but it's working towards filling that in. Oh, hang about. Let's be clever. Let's use our foreshadowing knowledge to our advantage. I will rather use the 3 now to cross out the 3 over there. Then I will use the 2 over here in Charterstone. That will gain me a pumpkin. And I'll write a 3 in the crate because I know that a 3 is coming up next turn. Haha. Planning ahead. Okay, so now we mark off the 1 and the 3 for turn 2. We roll the dice for turn 3. And we know what is coming. So we know we've got a 4 and a 6 on the way. So I can now use a 3 and a 1. I could cross out this crate and get some resources. Maybe I should just do that. Yes, I think I'm going to just do that. So I'm going to use that 3 to cross out this crate and gain a star. Let's put the 1 over here in the society. I need to work out a long-term plan here. If I use the 1 over here, I can use that 6 to cross out an hourglass, which might be a good idea. So do I want to focus on Pendulum or the society? I think Charterstone will just be a good way to get resources. That 6 at the top here in the society is very good to use though. So yeah, I'm going to use the 1 over here in Pendulum, and now I've got that hourglass closer to finished. Now I need to try fill in some of these before I complete it though. So we will now move on to turn 3, mark off a 6 and a 4. Roll the dice for turn 4. So we know what's coming. We've got a 5 and a 2 on the way. A 5 and a 2 for the next turn. So that means I'd be able to finish off that hourglass. So I'm going to use the 6 over here in the society at the top, because that's a nice big number to fill in at the top. Now, filling in numbers below it will be nice and easy. And with that 2 on the way, I think I'm going to fill in one of these. Do I want to start filling in stars? Or do I want to start getting resources? I'm going to fill in a star, and then I can start getting points out of Pendulum. Okay, whoop, don't pick those up. Force of habit now. 5 and a 2 for turn 4. Now we roll the dice for turn 5. And we've got another 2 and a 5 coming. Ooh. Oop. Don't write it in yet. All my muscle memory is having to be retrained this time. Okay, so now we've got a 2 and a 5. That's interesting. I'd probably do well to use one of those to circle a space over here. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this 5. Did I just roll a 2 and a 5 again? I did, didn't I? That is exactly the same roll as the previous turn. Haha, that's confusing, I think. I'm losing track now. Oh well. I shall correct myself in the edit if I get this all muddled, but I think I've just rolled another 2 and a 5 immediately. Yes, I think that's what's happened. I'm confused. Anyway, I'm going to use the 5. Use here. I keep looking at the dice. I need to look there. I can use a 5 and a 2. I'm going to use the 5 over there, which gains me a heart and a coin. And I'm going to use the 2 over here to circle this next star. So now on turn 5, we write down the 2 and the 5. And we now roll the dice for the next turn. Let's hope we don't roll a 2 and a 5 again to get me all confused. Okay, 1 and a 2. Now, I can't get confused with that. Ooh, another 2. Ooh, it keeps on tempting me not to fill in this final hourglass. Okay, so I've got a 5 and a 2 now. That's what I've got to use this turn. Let's remember, that's the numbers to use now, not those. That's next turn. I'm just going to hide those for now. Okay, 1 and a 2 is coming. Right now I have a 2 and a 5 to use. So I'm going to start maxing out Pendulum. I'm going to use the 2, and I'm going to circle, what's going to be more helpful, hearts or pumpkins? Coins are always useful. I think pumpkins are going to be more useful for manipulating dice. So I'm going to circle that because now I know a 2 is coming. So I'll be able to finish off this hourglass. And then I'm going to use the 5 over here below the 6. Doesn't get me anything just yet, but I'm working towards getting a bunch of resources and stars in the society. Now we roll, mark a 1 and a 2. Yo, my poor muscle memory just doesn't know what to do with this hole. Roll the dice, and we get a 4 and a 6 for next turn. Right, I'm going to finally cash in on Pendulum. I'm going to use the 2 to finish that off, which means I now get those 2 stars, 1, 2, and I get a coin and a pumpkin, 1 and 2. Then I've got a 1. So if I put the 1 there, I get another pumpkin, and I can put the 2 there. Or I can start doubling down on the society. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the 1 over here, because you can fill these in any order. So a 1 down at the bottom, nice and easy. And that doesn't get me anything right now, but it's building up for a future turn. So now we will write 6 and 4. And we will roll the dice for the next turn. And we have a 4 and a 3. And you can use 2 coins to make another die if the rolled dice are 7. So I want to make sure I don't spend those coins this turn. If anything, let's try get some more coins. Let's see. Okay, right now I've got a 6 and a 4 to use. I'm going to use the 6 over here in Pendulum. Cross out that. Gain 2 stars, 1, 2, and a pumpkin, and a coin. Then I'm going to use the 4 over here in the society, which gains me my first little star, because I finished a little pyramid there. And that is that. I'm not using my resources for anything. Let's not roll the dice. I keep getting ahead of myself. 4 and a 3. And now we will roll the dice, and these will be the dice we have for our final turn. A 2 and a 1. Ooh. I don't like those very much. Means I won't be able to cash in on Pendulum again. Okay, so right now I've got a 4 and a 3 to use. So let's put the other 4 over here in the society, getting another little star. And I finished a row, so I get the pumpkin and the heart and the coin. Now, I've rolled 7, so I'll be able to use 2 coins to get another 3 or 4. And you have to use the dice in different realms unless you spend 3 pumpkins, in which case you can then use a die in the same realm as a realm you've already used a die in this turn. What I'm going to rather do is I'm going to spend 3 pumpkins, 1, 2, 3, to convert that 3 to increase or decrease that 3 by plus or minus 1 or 0. And use it in a realm I've already used this turn, and I'm just going to use it in the society. That's the plan. That is the plan. Right. Then I'm going to put the 3, I'll just leave it as a 3, because no reason not to, and I'll put it over here. And that gains me another star in the society. Now I could cross off that and get another 3 or 4. But that's not going to help. Okay, now we don't roll the dice for the final turn. We just mark the 1 and the 2 over there. This is the last turn of the game. And I think my best bet is just to use one of those over here. I think it would have been good if I could have maxed out the society, because if you complete the whole pyramid, you get that bonus star at the top. But I'm not going to pull that off, I don't think. Let's see, if I use the 1 over here, I gain a pumpkin, and I write a 2 over there. Then I am going to write the 1 over here, gaining another star. And that is all. Because I can't fill in this last space here, because I don't have 3 pumpkins to put it in the same space. Otherwise, I totally would have done that. I would have put both of those there for sure. I probably could have used that last turn a bit more efficiently, but oh well. Can only do what you can do. So, let's tally up the score. I've got no hidden numbers anywhere, so let's see. I've got 4, 8, 9. Ugh. This isn't looking good. 9.1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9.8. That is not even close to 13. Ish. Ish, ish, ish. Right, so being able to see the future didn't really help me. If anything, it just distracted me and made me make mistakes. Hem. Hem, 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 hem. Oh well, that is that. We shall mark it off on my course log. And we're going to go to hole 15. We're going to mark off the first attempt. And I shall continue to attempt this one and try again and again and again and again until I best it. Hopefully it doesn't take me 4 failures and mark off a 5 like I did on the last one. But time will tell, and you shall find out in the next episode if you join me for hole 16 in the future. If you played along, I would love to hear from you down below what your final score was and if you managed to complete it, and how many attempts it took you to complete. And with that, I shall say thank you ever so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the show.